Hi, crafty friends. This is Amanda. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Michigan. Welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for being here. You guys make my day when you stop on by, so I really appreciate that. Today, I'd like to play with the Shaded Summer stamp set and the dies that you can get for free during celebration. And in truth, I'd like to case this card. This card really caught my eye in the Sale-a-Bration Catalog. I sometimes forget to case the catalog, so I'm going to try to do that now once a week and show you how I take a smaller card and change it up into a 5x7. So this card is probably a 4x4 in the catalog, and we're going to upsize it to a 5x7. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out some of these die cuts by using the free dies out of some bronze cardstock. Love it. I love the metallic cardstock, and I really like bronze. Bronze and champagne are my favorite. I'm going to next stamp this main floral element with some polished pink on some scrap paper here. And it's great that these dies are able to cut out this main floral along with some extra little bits. So I love that. Um, this card in the Sale-a-Bration catalog, it has some of these bits left inside, and so I'm going to have to play a little puzzle piece. Now, if I was smart, I would have just used my tape before I would have, punched it out and gently punched it out. But instead, I'm going to have to do some puzzle piecing. And apparently, I'm not a very good puzzle piecer today because it took me a while to put these few little petals back in. So, no laughing at me. They look kind of similar in all their beautiful bronze glory. So, like I said, I'm just going to take out this beautiful um, main floral and die cut this out with the coordinating dies. Free during celebration with a $50 order. If you have any questions about celebration, let me know, or if you need a celebration catalog or a new mini catalog. All right, friends, I'm going to cut a panel, a 5x7 panel, and I always cut a panel. For whatever reason, I always stack. So I have my main card base, and then I have a panel, and my panels are 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And I'm going to do some distressing because the card in the catalog has lots of distressing on it. One of those rotary distressors would have been helpful, but I don't own one. I know that Stampin' Up! Used to sell them, but they no longer do. So you can just go and grab yourself one from Michael's or Joann's. I think they're made by Ranger. If I'm not mistaken, they're black and they kind of look like, well, they're circular and they have different, ways to rip up your cardstock. So I do what I can do here, but I think it needs a little bit more because after 2 weeks sitting in my suitcase, it looks pretty tame compared to what it does right now. So I think I'd maybe like to add some more crinkles in it. I'm going to do some tone-on-tone stamping here with some of these larger elements. And so I'm going to grab out my crumb cake. And when I stamped it, I knew it was too dark. So I'm going to do second generation stamping or stamping off, whatever you choose to call it. That's when you ink up your stamp it on a scrap piece of paper, and then stamp it where you would like to actually use it. Now, I wish that I would have used this third little mini, it's mini. It's not really mini, but it's mini considering the other two, sprig, and then added some of my, for the sides and the little bits that need some more color. I wish I'd have taken out that third stamp and done that, used that sprig. But I pretty much covered this entire thing with second generation stamping of these two main stamps. There are 3 stamps, these 2 main ones, a little sprig, like I said, that's probably an inch long. Let me just see. Oh, I'm in centimeters. Oh, 1.25 inches. And then 7 different sentiments. I'm going to cut here some polished pink, and I'm going to cut it very large to begin with because I thought by going up from a 4x4 to a 5x7, I needed to make this large. And we'll start with this, but this is not how I'm going to end it. I'll cut this at 4 3/4 wide. It's probably 3 inches there, 2.5. It's a little bit too big. But I'm going to do something fun here. And like I said, I'm going to leave some of these in and some of these out. Now, can you imagine? The one that I didn't want to leave out has all these little bits in, and the one that I wanted to leave in fell out. So that's kind of funny. But I just used some washi tape on the back, and that, that keeps all the bits inside. All right, now I'm just going to tuck these under, really casing the card because I am not one to do random stuff. My randoms never look good. They look silly. So I'm going to use the layout pretty much on the top, exactly the same as the one in the catalog. I did break these leaves, this 3-leaf set apart, but I will add that together with some glue, and you'll never know that it was broken apart by me by accident. But, well, not by accident, on purpose by accident. On purpose, but not used. You know what I'm saying. And then I'm going to just turn this a little so little, just a little bit of an angle. Probably too much there. I'll change it in a little bit. Going to come up with a sentiment as well, but I'm just going to, fuss and fiddle with this a little bit. And while I'm doing that, let me tell you what sentiments are in this stamp set. May the good you do come back to you. Above and beyond, you go there a lot. Love you, friend. Happy birthday. Some friendships are just meant to be. Hello, you, and thank you. Now, I'm also going to use these metallic dots, which are so fun, and I love these metallic dots. Now, they're definitely not as shiny. They're a little bit more matte than the cardstock, but they're they're just perfect. And they make this card, these are the perfect things to go with these cards, so I love it. I decided to change up my mind because the polished pink was just a little bit too modern, and I really wanted to go with something softer. So I chose to use Blushing Bride instead, and it toned it down and it gave it just that much softer of a feel, which worked well in the long run for the final card. I think that you will agree. And I will again run that through my mini boss with the coordinating die. Let me know how you guys are doing, what you're ordering from the catalog, what you're looking forward to making next. And if you're not subscribed, I would certainly love it if you would. My goal is to get 145 more subscribers in 2 weeks, and I'm sure I'm not going to meet that goal. I'm going to I really wanted 1,000 by the end of August, which was my 1-year anniversary, but I think I'm going to have to wait. I think it's going to be maybe 900 by my 1-year anniversary, and I'm just going to be happy with that. But you guys can help me out a lot by subscribing. Now I'm going to take out this sentiment. This is my go-to sentiment, actually, in the Positive Thoughts stamp set. It says, sending positive thoughts and feel-good wishes. And that could be for a lot of things. It could be for lots of different types of cards. So this is a really good go-to universal sentiment that's still short and sweet. And I will ink that up in some Versamark and stamp that down on my Blushing Bride cardstock. And then I will pour some, of course, bronze embossing powder over it. And I did use my anti-acidic powder bag, and then I'll heat set this. But as you can see, I didn't do a very good job of making this straight. So I'm going to have to do some creative cutting in a little bit, but oh well, it is what it is. So I'm going to definitely have to cut this down a little bit. I'm just going to heat set that and make it all puffy and beautiful. I really do enjoy embossing. especially in the metallics. So I am going to line up my sentiment with my trimmer arm. I think it's called an arm. What would you call that? My trimmer blade arm, or whatever you want to call, so that I can try to get this lined up. And I don't do a very good job of it, but I do notice that my S is not quite embossed all the way. So I will just hit that with my heat tool again. There we go. That makes sense. And again, I'm just lining this up because I know it's not right. I did not cut it or stamp it perfectly straight. And normally I'm one to stamp things pretty straight, but I did not do a very good job. And I'm going to spend a few moments with this, getting this straight. But you know what? Straight is rather important. Again, just using the arms and trying to cut it so that it's perfectly straight. And I end up cutting it down to 1¼ of an inch or 1½ inch. Let me just check here. Oh, 1½ inches, which was perfect because that looks great here. What do you think? I love it. This card is soft and beautiful, very elegant, something that you can give to a friend. And even with the distressed look, it just makes it a little bit more, something. Now I'm going to use some crumb cake thread, not linen thread, but crumb cake thread. And I'm going to wrap it around several times, just checking to make sure I'm doing the casing correctly. But really, I wrap it around there and I use a lot of it. I make it go up and down and weave in and out, and I just want it to look beautiful. And I will do my bow here, but I end up not doing that. I'll pull it all apart and say, this is silly. We just need to add some adhesive on the back like I normally do, and wrap it around like that, and then add my bow at the last little minute so that I can make it look perfect. And like I said, I really do like to crisscross and move up and down these so the twine isn't all in one lump. It's a little bit, out and spread out, and it looks just, I don't know, a little bit different. And that's how I like to do it. Then I'll make my bow here, but because I did all those winding and twisting and twirling, my bow takes a little bit of time for me to get together, and I'll use a glue dot here to put it in the middle. I don't do random stuff very easily, so I'm definitely going to take a look at the card in the catalog, in the Sale-a-Bration catalog, to see where I can put everything so it looks unique. And since it's not really unique because, there's two of them, just a little bit different. But I'll just tuck these in underneath this panel here. I didn't think that it needed to be popped up, this panel, this sayings panel. I just liked it, flat on the cardstock. And I'll tuck these under, a little bit here, a little bit there. I in the end do mostly to the middle and the left on the top and on the right in the lower area. So that works well for me. And then I just put this little, well, not little, it's pretty big. It's about 4 inches. Let me just check. It's a nice large size. I actually brought my ruler with me, but I need to start at 1 instead of 8. Yep, it's about 3½ inches long. So it's a pretty good size element, especially for a 5x7 card. And then I'll just, like I said, use the card in the catalog to case where these little elements go, because I really like them and where they're at. And I mean, who other than someone very creative would have thought of putting these 3 leaves up way at the top? I certainly wouldn't. So I'm glad that there are those that are absolutely creative and can do that, and I can case the catalog. That's why if you ever see a card in the catalog that really draws your attention, case it. Put your own little spin on it, but that's a resource that Stampin' Up! Gives you. Now, it needs one more little element down at the bottom here, and I'm going to pretend to put this here. I'm just lifting it up and tucking it under. Maybe it would have been best to lay out all of my elements first and then put down the panel where glue down the panel where the sentiment panel. But you know what? I think I do a pretty good job of just tucking it under, adding a little bit of glue here and there, and it works. So, like I said, I do a little bit on the top left and some on the bottom right, and I think it looks nice. Now we just need to add a card base to this, which is I cut 1.5 inches off the short side, 1 inch off the long side, scooch it over, and score it at 5, and then I have a 5x7 card base. Again, this is in crumb cake. I'll use the Stampin' Seal to adhere this down. I really like the Stampin' Seal. So glad that Stampin' Up! Changed it from the snail. It wasn't a big fan of the snail. And it just needs a little something, something. Sorry about the change in the voiceover, but I've done this voiceover 6 times, and either the dogs barked or someone came to the door or my phone rang, so it was crazy. But I am going to add these beautiful metallic elements, and my card is done. I would love it if you would like and subscribe and tell me what you think. Let me know what card you'd like to case in the catalog. You guys have a fabulous week. I hope I see you soon. And you guys, thanks again.